We've got an action-packed selection of deals for you this week with some of the very best bangs, booms and pows on Xbox at bargain prices.
Before we get stuck into the games, remember that some of these are deals with gold offers. This means you'll need an Xbox Live Gold membership to take advantage of them.
And if you're somehow not a gold subscriber yet, remember you can get one as part of an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription, alongside a huge library of console and PC games and some exclusive bonus discounts.
First up this week, we've got The Division 2, which has seriously divided its price, down to just 15% of the usual.
That's 85% off, math fans, or divided by 6.6 recurring if you really want to get specific about it.
This Tom Clancy-inspired shooter takes us back to an America rocked by a bioterrorist attack on Black Friday.
After the first game introduced a post-apocalyptic New York, this time your elite squad of sleeper agents are off to Washington, D.C. to try and restore order.
That means looting and shooting at the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument, and even the White House.
And it all looks fantastic with a full suite of Xbox One X enhancements, 4K rendering, HDR support, and improved textures, including 8K skies on a day-night cycle.
It's the end of the world as you know it, and it feels pretty good actually.
Staying in the world of Tom Clancy, this week you can also get Rainbow Six Siege Deluxe Edition for 70% off.
This shooter pits two squads of 5 operators against one another, with one team defending the objective and the other attacking.
So far, so simple, but there are 2 twists that make Siege stand out. First, this all takes place in maps that can be demolished to make your own route to the objective or get the drop on enemies. Second, each operator comes with a unique loadout and abilities to completely switch up your playstyle.
The game is now in its 5th year of pretty much constant updates, and this deluxe edition gives you access to all the maps and all the modes that have been added over that time, plus the 16 operators released in year 1 and 2 right from the jump.
That includes attacking specialists like Buck, who can knock down walls with his rifle-mounted shotgun, and the one-eyed crossbow wielder, Capital.
And over on the defensive side, you've got Echo with his ultrasonic devices, and Frost, who can set bear traps to ensnare attackers.
You'll have to work to unlock the later additions to the cast, but that just gives you plenty of opportunity to get acquainted with this lot and figure out what kind of hero you like best.
Especially with Rainbow Six Quarantine due to arrive later this year, there's never been a better time to become an operator.
Next, we're trading military operators for androids with Nier Automata, Become as God's Edition, available for half price.
We promised you the very best in Xbox action games this week, and Nier comes from one of the masters of the genre, Platinum Games, who made Bayonetta and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
So smashing up baddies with your sword and the assistance of a floating gun drone feels just as great as you'd expect. But it's also tied to an RPG with one of the best stories in gaming.
Nier Automata is set in a far future where humans and aliens are at war, but instead of fighting their own battles, send their robots to just do it for them.
And that's just the beginning of this very strange and memorable tale. Oh, and if you do pick this up, here's a little tip. Beating this game and seeing the credits doesn't mean you've actually finished it. Start over again and you'll find yourself playing as a different character, showing a completely new side to the story.
And once you've beaten it with him, well, that's when the real game begins. So you're basically getting 3 great games in one. Not bad for 50% off.
You of all people should know there's plenty wrong with you.
So our next deal is 60% off Batman Return to Arkham. This packages together remasters of Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, the first 2 in Rocksteady's brilliant series.
These classics have had a huge graphical revamp, moving from the original Unreal Engine 3 to Unreal Engine 4, with new textures and character faces, plus modern lighting and particle effects.
For my money, these are the very best Bat games around. And for your money, you can get them for less than half price. You don't have to be the world's greatest detective to figure this one out.
And finally, we've got some deep discounts on the first 3 installments of a truly classic shooter series.
You can pick up the 25th anniversary re-releases of Doom 1, 2, and 3, all for 70% off, bringing them down to some ridiculously cheap prices.
Let's talk about the 90s classics first. When Doom arrived in 1993, it introduced the world to 3D first-person shooters.
But don't think of it as some kind of stuffy museum exhibition in the history of gaming. Doom's speedy demon-slaying action is still amazingly fun to blast through today.
Especially with these re-releases put out to celebrate the game's 25th birthday.
Both Doom and Doom 2 support 5.1 surround sound and run at 60 frames per second for a smooth as hell shooting experience.
Plus, there are extra levels for both games, and the ability to team up with 3 fellow Doomslayers to play through in co-op or go head-to-head in the first deathmatch mode ever made.
You can buy both games individually, but we're talking about 2 of the most important and influential shooters of all time for a combined cost that's less than a cup of coffee.
And then, if you fancy fast-forwarding ahead through first-person shooter history, you can pick up Doom 3. This is a reimagining of the first game, giving it a huge graphical update that was on the bleeding edge of tech at the time, and still holds up today, especially running at native 4K on Xbox One X.
This edition includes 2 expansion packs to make sure you've got plenty to keep your trigger fingers busy until Doom Eternal rocks up next month. And don't forget, Doom 2016 is still available on Xbox Game Pass. So there we have it, those are some of the best deals that you can pick up this week on Xbox. Though if you are new to the channel, make sure to hit that bell to get notifications of when we upload, and let us know what you think down in the comments below.
Don't forget to leave a like and check us out weekdays at 2:30 over at mixer.com/xboxon if you want to check the latest games streamed live. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.